Once a year, every single one of us turns into the perfect human, the perfect child for about 12 hours. That's when Mother's Day is coming up. Yeah, you know it. We call our moms, we say thank you, we tell them we love them, we act like we've been doing everything right for our entire lives. Meanwhile, the other 364 days of the year, we're out eating roller dogs for dinner, ignoring their phone calls and telling them, yeah, I'll be careful, while sometimes doing the exact opposite. And look, we've done the Mother's Day episode on this podcast before. You know the one where people come on and say my mom's amazing and tells a nice story, and we all nod and smile, and it's heartfelt, it's sweet, it's a good episode. But then you guys go back to listening to literally anything else, I think. And so this year we wanted to do it just a little bit different, okay? We're still bringing on drivers to talk about their moms. That's never going to go away. But we're not just telling our moms we love them today. Today is about the reality of being a truck driver and having a mom that maybe has to come to peace with that in some way, shape, or form. We're talking about the stuff that maybe moms don't understand. We're talking about what it would be like if mom was in the cab riding along with us. We're talking about some of the decisions that we have to make as drivers out there on the road and whether or not mom would approve of such decisions. Now, spoiler alert, by day 3, she's either running your truck or she's calling dispatch for you. I think that's probably the case with a lot of moms out there. But we're going to show some love today. I don't want anybody to be worried about that. We're going to have some fun with it too. And we also have a very big announcement coming somewhere in this podcast. That's all you get. I'm not giving you even an inkling to what is going to happen later on today. But you stay tuned, and you will get quite possibly one of the biggest announcements we've ever made on this podcast. And that's, I think, subjective, okay? I won't say objectively one of the biggest announcements. It's subjective, but it's big. And so stay tuned for it, because I think you're going to like it. And there's one thing we all know as we approach Mother's Day here in just a few days. No matter how many miles you've driven, how many states you've seen, or how long you've been doing this job, to your mom, you're still the same little kid who doesn't call enough and probably isn't eating that well. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Liquid Trucking Podcast. It is our Mother's Day edition. A little round of applause for all of the moms out there. Of course, I am your host, Marcus. Thank you so much for being here today. I am joined by the only mother that is a regular on this podcast, my co-host, Amanda. Amanda, happy Mother's Day to you. Are your kids throwing a big bash, or anybody doing anything special for you this Mother's Day?
No, I mean, it's weird. I'm in that weird stage of my kids' lives where they're all just now like into their adulthoods. And so my one daughter's in Washington State, and I'm out here in Ohio. She's not going to be coming home for that. And then my older daughter is a mother herself, so she's got stuff going on for her, and that just leaves my son Jack. And you know what, Jack? I won't count it out. He can be a little bit surprising. You know, he showed up by accident on my birthday last year. So you never know with Jack Riley, but yeah, we'll see what happens. My mom always likes to try to plan something too, which is funny because it's like, your mom, let me plan it for you, but she would rather have the reins. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know, it's funny that you talk about your son. I'm assuming he's early 20s or maybe not even. He's 20
just
right now.
Just turned 20.
So it's funny to me because that first year, freshman year in college, like I left home and I was the last kid out of the house. My sister's 3 years older than me, and so I left and I did not come back home until Thanksgiving. So it was basically like 2.5, 3 full months away from home. It was really what I wanted to do, and I realized, I think, after I went home for Thanksgiving, that I had really kind of neglected the keeping in touch part of things because I was having so much fun. And I bring it up because it was right around that age, like my 19 is when I really finally just came around to the fact that I need to call my mom more.
Yes.
Like, I just need to stay in touch. And it even, it was years down the road where it was something that I made it sure that it was like a weekly thing. But I'm kind of kicking myself right now because I know she's listening to this, and honestly, it's been a while since I've talked to her because we've been so busy at work. And, I don't know. This is a motherly instinct, I think. If my mom senses that I'm busy at work, she will make it a point not to call because she doesn't want to bug me or take my time. And then because I'm busy, I don't end up calling, and we kind of just continually push it off. I hate it. I got to just, put a sticky note on the fridge and call mom. It's that easy. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think that someday when I reach for the phone to call my mom and she's not going to be able to be on the other end, that's when I'm going to have those moments. I read something in the last year about people that have ADHD. And as far as thinking about people when they are not particularly relevant at that moment, it just kind of doesn't happen. So it doesn't mean you don't love them or you don't care for them. It's just your mind doesn't really think about people that aren't in your vision unless there's a specific reason, right? So for me personally, I have that issue with just remembering, my daughter, the oldest one, she's like, I wish you would bother me more. But it's like, I don't think about it. I just don't think about it. But when you pop up, I text you, it's a weird thing for me. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'm realizing, at least with like the younger generation, because my mom, she's not old. She's like a very young 65, right? Like she can quote Insane Clown Posse lyrics. My mom she is a very special lady, okay? But communication, she's not great. She's someone you'll send like a big long text to with like 5 questions in it, and she'll respond with a K. And you're like, oh my God. But with my kids, I'm realizing they count it as communication if I send them like memes. So we're doing okay. We're doing all right there. And I think reciprocally, whatever the word is, as long as they're doing it back, I think that's fair. That counts as communication,
Yeah, I think so too. And it's funny, that's something that probably over the last year and change has been a part of both my relationship with my sister, who is a mother, and my relationship with my mom, is they've started sending me reels on Facebook. And mostly it's my sister finds these stand-up comedians that are so poignant to our childhood. Yeah. Like they will say something that's like, you pulled that directly out of the Bridges storybook. I know you did. And my mom sends me cute things like corgi, dog stuff. Yep. My mom and I are both, my dad loves to say about my mom, she loves dogs more than most humans. And I sometimes think that the apple didn't fall very far from the tree there. Is one of the reasons I don't take my dogs to like public dog parks.
Yes.
I don't want to fight somebody, and I'll fight everybody in that dog park if anybody even looks at one of the boys cross. And so I don't really know where I was going with this, other than I think I have some motherly instincts as well. Don't be
looking at the boys cross, okay? That's going to be my new phrase. Don't be looking at the boys cross. But no, yeah. It's interesting. We talked about recently that I had moved, and in moving, I was kind of going through things to downsize or whatever, and I came upon like the bin that has every Mother's Day thing my kids ever made me in like elementary school, right? And
the tears probably just flowed.
Listen, you might think like, what's the point in this? Whatever. Why am I saving all of this stuff? Because you get inundated with things when your kids are in school, okay? Especially elementary school. They came home with a stack of papers every single day. You can't save everything. And I do know many times I questioned, like, why do I keep moving this stuff from house to house? Like, what am I holding on to this for? But I'll tell you what, sitting down about a week ago and kind of going through all those little things, and then, FaceTiming my daughter and being like, hey, this is your folder. Look at all your, it's very touching, and it's nice to remember. We get so caught up in our day to day right now, right? Like I'm planning my grandson's birthday is coming up. So I'm like planning for his party, and I'm not, sometimes you forget when your kids are little, you forget that fun, and it really is so fun. So it's nice to have those little keepsakes, and, like the little clay handprint and all those little things, like keep it all. And then you go back and look at it.
Keep it all, because you don't ever keep those things to look at them every single day. That is, you keep those things so that you can have the moment that you just had, where it's going to take a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes out of your day. You're going to cry, ugly cry, probably a little bit. That's fine. And then you're going to put it away and wait for that moment next time. And it's going to be just as valuable. I'm hugely sentimental, Amanda.
I've noticed that about you.
Yeah, have you? Yeah, I kind of wear it on my sleeve, you know. But if you asked me right now, hey, could you go find me, Ashley and I do like Father's Day, Mother's Day. It's like Corgi Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Oh my
right?
God, I love it.
we don't blow it out for each other, but we'll buy each other a card and maybe some candy or something just to be, just something fun. I could find my Corgi Father's Day card. I could go right down to my drawer right now. I pinpoint and know exactly where it's at from 4+ years ago. I keep that type of stuff because, yeah, every now and then you want to have that moment, and it's okay to create a little clutter. I think because if you get rid of that clutter, you're also getting rid of that clutter in your mind, and that's good clutter, right? We want to keep that clutter.
I'm curious to know for you and your mom, like, what's the thing that you most commonly are like, no, I got to call my mom and find out. What's like her thing? For me with my mom, it's usually like food related, like cooking related. But like work advice is dad. I call my dad.
Yeah, it's weird. So as my parents, since they've retired, nearly every phone call I have is with both of my parents because if first of all, they love speakerphone. That's just they're at that age where they love speakerphone, and if my mom hears that my dad's got me on the phone, bam, she's in the room. If my dad hears that my mom's got me on the phone, bam, he's in the room. So, and I think that part of that is because I live 7.5 hours away from them and we don't get to talk as much.
Right.
So they're trying to maximize their opportunities. Mom is definitely my emotional support. Because my mom feels emotions much like I do. Very powerful, a little overwhelming at times, and being able to navigate that is something that you have to talk to somebody who's gone through that and somebody who sort of wears their emotions on their sleeve. That's one thing I got from my mom. My dad is going to be the more logical side of things, not logical that my mom's illogical, but logical in that kind of blue-collar worker, straightforward. There's a fix for this problem if we just figure it out. He's kind of more my baseline. If I'm really off center, I'm probably going to call mom, or I depend a lot on my sister for that type of stuff because she has, like, my parents are so understanding of my emotions that they'll let me just go and be emotional.
I love that though.
My sister sometimes will let that go to a point, but then I also feel like she's really good at, when you've got a kid that's shorter than you and you put your hand on their forehead and they're swinging and they can't hit you. That's kind of what I would say my sister does with my emotions, is she checks them in a way that doesn't make me feel bad for having them, but does kind of bring me down from 10 to like a solid 6 where I can breathe and the face stops going full beat red. So that's kind of my entire family dynamic. I know that we're just mostly talking moms here, but yeah, it's there's definitely targeted conversations that have to happen when things are going awry, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a family member that's been dedicated to that thing.
I feel like there's different phases too in our relationships with our moms, and I really liked when I got to the age where we could talk about, like things from my childhood, but not in like a deep way. In a, hey, you remember when you grounded me for this thing? It really wasn't me, or vice versa. Like, hey, this is the stuff that I used to get away with. And I really enjoyed that with my mother so much. And when it came around for me with my kids, I did not feel the same way. I'm like, you did what? Where was I? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. That was a fun thing. Like, a picture got broken one time when we were throwing a football in a room that we shouldn't have been throwing a football. And that was just a mystery for years until like my freshman or sophomore year of college was like, oh yeah, I broke that. And she's like, wait, what? And then you're like, well, I didn't think it was a big deal now, but yeah, we totally broke that. We were playing football in the living room. Things get broken. So I get that.
I think I would
there's probably still some things.
I would still fight my sister to this day over the one thing. I remember we had a shoe shelf that my stepdad built in the garage. We were no shoes in the house ever, ever, ever. So we had this shoe shelf and someone wrote my name in Sharpie, right? Like, Why would I write my own name?
It's pretty incriminating.
And literally, I think I was like 30 when my mom finally believed me that it wasn't me. Like, it took that long.
You know, I got a story for you that is when the first time that I realized that my, you know, as a kid, you're always thinking that the team of mom and dad is they're your biggest support, they're your biggest love, but they're also your biggest rival in everything you want to do as a teenager, right?
Right.
And you play this funny mind game where sometimes you pit them against one another. I don't know, go ask
You
your
can
mom.
try, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can kind of play some mind games there. But I was always under the impression that there was nothing that I could do that would make it so that my mom would have my back over my dad's if the two of us if it came down to a judgment call there. Until the day that I was washing my mom's Suburban in our driveway, and we had a two-car garage with a support beam that ran down the middle, and our driveway was sloped pretty aggressively towards the garage, okay? So I'm washing the Suburban. That was one of my gigs as a kid. I loved it. I detailed cars as a job in the summer, so it was not one of the chores that Dad would give me that I would hate. Beautiful summer day. I'm out there getting the thing all shiny, and it's a Suburban. It took a stepladder. I'm a short American. Some of you guys have met me. And I went to back the Suburban out of the sun and put it in the shade so I could dry it off, and I got in, and I hit it reverse. And by the way, I'm like 15. I don't have a driver's license at this point. I back up and I hear a click. Well, I had backed into the stepladder, which I had left behind the Suburban. We didn't have backup cameras at the time. So, you know, hang with me here. The little tiny bit of paint damage, like little tiny scrape. But I was so panicked that I shut the car off. I threw it into park and I jumped out to see what the hell it was. Throwing it into park is very highly, I don't advise it because it doesn't go all the way into park. It stops in reverse pretty aggressively unless you shove it all the way up. And when a car is in gear, it will roll down a hill. It doesn't matter if it's in reverse. It's in gear. And I got out and ran to the back, and I looked and I saw the stepladder, and I saw the Suburban slowly getting further away from the stepladder.
Oh my God.
And by the time I realized what had happened, Amanda, that Suburban rolled all the way through the center support in the garage, pushed it back by 2 yards, maybe a yard and a half, sloped the ceiling down. I thought the whole side of the house was coming down. And my dad wasn't home, but he was on the way home.
My God.
And Dad's domain, I'll never forget this either. One time, my sister and I left a mess in the garage, and my dad sat us down, and he said, you have your room, you have your room. This garage is my room, and the rest of the house is your mother's.
Oh, no.
And that was our, so I just took out Dad's room, is what I'm thinking. It's the only room in the house that belongs to him, and I just drove a goddamn Suburban through it. And I went in, and my mom was on the phone, and I just grabbed her by the hand, and I started patting her on the hand, and I just said, Mom, you got to come out here. Mom, you got to come out. And to hear her tell this story is priceless. She walks out. She sees the carnage. I just hit the wall with my back and sloped down onto the floor on my butt, and I just said, please excuse the language. It's the first F-bomb I ever dropped in front of my mom. He's going to effing kill me. And I'll edit it for you guys since it's Mother's Day. But she held my hand that whole time when I went through those emotions, and then sure enough, 3 seconds later, Dad comes pulling down the driveway. She sent me inside and mitigated the damage that would have happened to me. And it's all emotional. My dad was not a physical person, but I was terrified, and she stood in the way of the emotional reaction my dad did have and kind of shielded me from that. My dad and I went and got a hydraulic jack. Mm-hmm. We jacked it back up. He fixed the whole thing by hand. I paid for a new bumper for the front of the Suburban because the back one really wasn't hurt all that bad. It turns out that backing up into a stepladder does minimal damage compared to driving through a center support in the garage. So, I was out a few $100 as a teenager, which hurts, but I think that that moment, understanding that, hey, if something really bad goes down, Mom will protect me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was terrified,
She
Amanda.
softened the blow, for sure.
I thought it all was going to end that day. I thought this is the end of Marcus Bridges' story. It's a short one. It's 15 years. never was a legal driver, but caused some real problems with a car. That's the whole story right there. So, it's ever since that day that I've had I think an even deeper, more special bond with my mom. And, I mention her and my dad on this podcast all the time because they are listening. They've listened to every single episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. And I think that, here on our Mother's Day special, that my mom deserves a special shout out for that. She may be one of the most dedicated Liquid Trucking Podcast listeners. And that just fills up my heart, Amanda. I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Well, shout out to Marcus's mom for sure. I wish I could say the same with my mom as far as listening. She's never been a big listener, but she's always a huge supporter with the, do you know who this is, in random public places. So shout out to my mom for that and for giving me incredible taste in music, of course.
Hey,
so
there you go. That was a big one too. My mom was a drummer, and I did not know that until after I had picked up the drums. So we got some good music from our moms. That's another place where they really come in handy. Okay, well, listen, I've been babbling here because we've gone so much longer than what we're supposed to. It's always my fault. I got broad shoulders. I can take it. Do need to tell you about the podcast website, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. We always want to mention that in the open because you need to bookmark it because it is your one-stop shop for everything Liquid Trucking Podcast. If you want to check out who's on what show, if you want to check out what we're talking about, there's some metrics up there to pit you guys against one another, see who's getting the most miles, and you can even pick up some merch there. You can also email Amanda and I directly from that page, or just type this into the address bar on your email, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. So the two are very similar. We love to hear from you. Send us your topics. Let us know if you want to come on the show. And don't forget, we're carrot and sticking that 25,000 drive for gold points. If you are a Liquid driver that has never been on this show before, we got 25,000 drive for gold points for you just for making an appearance. So come hang out. We do lots of fun stuff. We'll be getting into season 2 of trivia coming up here soon. And, more prizes available. Vic went home with 50,000 drive for gold points, and he also won 25,000 twice for winning trivia. So listen, I got deep pockets on this show, Amanda, is what I'm trying to say. And we want you drivers involved. So look us up. Once again, podcast.liquidtrucking.com is the website. Podcast@liquidtrucking.com is the email address. We are going to get a couple drivers in here to talk about their moms, show some love, give some flowers. We'll play some fun little games too, Amanda. I want to know what moms understand about the job and what they just don't get. Because it's a complicated job, and I got to be honest, there's not a lot of moms out there doing it. There are some. We've talked to them here on this show, but I just have this sneaking feeling that maybe mom doesn't quite get everything that's going on out there. So we'll bring a couple drivers in here right now and find out. All right, Amanda, let's bring these two guys in here. A couple guys that we've had on the show many times before, and we always share a bunch of laughs with these guys. We were just giggling like schoolgirls right before we got on here with them. Can't share what we were talking about before the mics went hot, but let me tell you, it was worth a laugh. Let's welcome to the show right now, Bert Morris. Bert, thanks for being here, man. How you doing out there?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Where are you at today?
Oh, I'm in, Latimer, Iowa. I'm headed up to Albert Lea to grab a trailer and continue with this little lake project we got going.
Right. You were telling me about the lake project. Well, hope that's going well.
It was beautiful last night.
Was it? Do you like...
Cleach and Chris and Efron were all there, so we had to go for a little romantic walk together and,
That's nice. A little sunset walk with the boys. I like it. Did Cleach cook you up any food?
No, he did not. I told him to make me breakfast, too, and he refused.
So rude.
We'll have a chat with him. We're going to talk cooking in the cab next week, and then Matt's going to join us. So I'm gonna see what's going on. I'll dress him down here on the podcast a little bit, ask him why the heck he's not cooking for you, man.
Yeah, if he likes to cook so much, he's going to be on the podcast. Why didn't he volunteer to make me breakfast?
I love where your head's at, Bert. Always, man, always. Thanks for being here, man. Always a pleasure to welcome you. Let's welcome our second driver, another vet of the podcast, and a man who we've actually talked to his mother on this podcast. It's Michael Donut Duncan. Donut, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was an emotional episode when you brought your mom to this show. It's one of the, I think, 2 times that I've shed tears on this podcast. Very powerful stuff, man. And today, hopefully, you're not going to drag the tears out of me today, I don't think, because this is mostly going to be happy talk. But that was really cool, man. What did she think of that?
I can't remember if she actually talked to you guys about it, but she was planning on putting it on our sites and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I hope that that little bit of content that we were able to produce does some good in that realm. And remind us what the Facebook page is real quick here before we jump in so that anybody that listened to that episode can go check it out. Do you remember off the top of your head? Because if not, I can find it.
I don't. My brain just blanked. We've had 2 different ones. There was a Connor Sheldon Memorial Park, and there was the Connor Sheldon Memorial Foundation. I don't remember which one's still active.
That's fine. That's all I needed right there was a little bit. So the one you're going to want to look for is the Connor Sheldon All-Inclusive Memorial Playground, and you can go to the website ConnorSheldonMemorialInc.org, and that stuff was posted last year or actually back in 2024. So that's the most recent one I've got. Go check it out. That was so cool, man. That was a great episode. Actually, let me see what episode number that was. If you want to go back and listen to it, that was episode 113. Go check out episode 113 if you want to hear from Donut's mom talking about the all-inclusive memorial playgrounds in memory of Donut's brother Connor. Okay, Mother's Day. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I got to ask you guys, if Mom was in the truck with you for a week, how long before you guys, are you having a good time? Is she annoying you? Are you annoying her? What's that look like if you were to spend a week on the job with Mom in the truck? And whoever's laughing right now has got to take it first.
That's me, Donut.
Okay. Why has this got you giggling?
So I think I've mentioned it before that I spent some time in foster care when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about each and every one of my moms. and my brain was bouncing through, each of them. So we'll stick to my mother. I feel like it would go back and forth. Like, she didn't know the crap out of me. She really knew, hey, you're too close to the line. This from the lady who takes her half down the middle. We'd be going back and forth and back and forth.
There'll always be the worst drivers that want to tell you how to drive, right?
Yeah.
She's not really that bad, but sometimes I just close my eyes. I'm not sleeping. I'm just praying.
I wonder, is she going to put like grip strength marks on the oh shit handle? Is that how she rides passenger with you?
Oh yeah. She gave me my first driving lesson, and that was the last driving lesson she ever gave me.
Well, I don't want to know what kind of paint damage came out of that lesson.
None, but there were skid marks.
What, were you drift racing or something? This was before Tokyo Drift came out, or was it after? I don't know.
It was before. My mom was giving me my driving lesson, and the lesson was to take her to where she works. And she gives directions like the worst GPS you've ever had. She tells you to turn when you're in the intersection. She goes, okay, turn left here.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what? First time I'm ever behind a wheel of a car. I'm like, what? Now, turn left now. And so I did.
You did it like you've seen it in the movies, right? Hit the gas and turn the wheel.
Just around the corner. We pulled into the parking lot, and it was in that moment that we both decided, completely together, that she is never giving me another driving lesson.
And so, who took over the privilege? Who started training you?
Her dad, my maternal grandfather. He had he had done not trucking like we do, but he did furniture deliveries and stuff for Wards out in California.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now, Bert,
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, I hear you laughing about Donut's story there. I wonder, was there any exciting driving lessons for you as a young kid with Mom or anything like that you want to recount for us? Because I know that you got some wild stories, man, just in talking to you.
I taught myself to drive. We stole the neighbor's car. I remember riding in the car with my mom, though. But, like, it was, you know how it, like, the old 70s cars, you know, like, nobody wore seatbelts and stuff?
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like when she'd come into a stoplight, she'd put her arm across me. And I'm like, how's that going to work, you know? But, yeah.
Good old mom belt.
Oh, and she's
Mom
stronger.
belt, yep.
She's stronger than you think, too.
Superhuman.
Yeah.
I just did that
Right?
to my husband
Superhuman mom
yesterday.
strength.
You can't, I think it just happens. The second you become a mom, that arm just automatically, that reflex comes to you instantly the exact moment you become a mother. It's so weird. And you do it to everybody. Everybody. It doesn't matter. You do it to your own mom if you're driving and you come to a stop. Like, you can't help it.
I feel like my mom's instinct was to swing at me in the back seat because I was being an ass. But, you know, I did have my seatbelt on, so she didn't need to worry about keeping me from slamming off the dash. She just needed to worry about putting a lid on it, which is, you know, you guys know enough about me at this point. You know that's how I was as a kid.
Yep.
So
Hit the brakes and let you fly in the front seat and then backhand you.
it's kind of,
Get you right up there at arm's reach.
yeah, put you on the express lane to punishment town. I love it. That's funny, man. So, were you guys? Did you talk it over with your moms before you decided to become professional drivers? Was there any reticence there, Donut? Was your mom all about it, or was she like, "Hey, I remember you skidding through on the first driving lesson, and I think maybe pro driving shouldn't be for you"? Anything like that?
Yes, exactly that. She's like, well, your grandpa's did it, your uncle does it, it's in your blood, but I've seen you drive. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, I've seen you drive.
Yeah, the
You
apple
shouldn't do it.
Right, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, Mom. What about you, Bert? Was your mom still around when you decided to start driving professionally?
Oh yeah, she complimented my driving and stuff. It was really sweet of her.
And was she worried when you were going out on the road? Was your mom a worrier at all and stuff like that, or did she just like, you're the kid that stole the neighbor's
No.
car when you were growing up, you'll be fine?
I was one of them latchkey kids. My parents weren't home when I got home. I'm Gen X.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's where
Half-water, you know.
that is the last generation that could get away with Grand Theft Auto. I will say that. That's actually on the books.
Yeah, several times. But no, she didn't worry about me. I was just left on my own to survive, basically. You know?
Okay.
But she did like it. She did like that I became a truck driver. She's excited about it. Always asking me questions about where I'm going and stuff. And I was a local driver then, so I wasn't really nowhere.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
So what
times.
do you think it would be like to have Mom in the cab with you if she were still around for a week on the job that you do now, Bert? Do you guys think you'd have some fun? Would you be swinging at each other by the end of it? Is she going to critique your driving or anything like that?
No, but she'd want to stop everywhere there was a freaking crane or a bird or something to look at it. You know, and you gotta go like pre-Alzheimer's or post-Alzheimer's, because both would have been interesting. But yeah, we'd have been stopping everywhere to pick freaking blueberries and all that stuff.
And that's
cute.
okay at Liquid
Before.
Trucking because you get paid by the hour, right? So might as well.
Wow, maybe. I don't want management to hear that, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I might have stopped with her to do that.
That's okay, man. You know what? We talk about it before. We have Matt McKellar on the show all the time. He's always telling us about nature hikes he's taken and everything. You know, that's okay. And hey, as long as your dispatcher wasn't pissed off at you, I think that you're clear, right?
Right. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, we had some nice romantic walks Tuesday night around the lake over there with the boys.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what you were
Fantastic.
saying. You were saying what? Cleach was out there.
Oh yeah, Leach and Chris and Efren. Us four were there the first night. Then we got some OFC guys on it too.
That sounds like a party. Once you get some OFC guys on it, now things are real, right?
Oh yeah, they're a lively bunch.
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Donut, I wonder, I didn't ask you the question. What do you think it would be like having, or we did talk about this, having your mom in the cab for a week? You said that she would be hitting the imaginary brake and really ripping the shit handle off the wall, right?
Oh yeah. And then I was thinking about it after you asked. So I had, like I said, I was a foster kid, and I keep thinking about my mama Rosa, my brother Ricardo's mom, and I was thinking about her. She'd be like, "Paolo, slow down, Paolo! Paolo, watch the turn, Paolo!"
She would be very vocal. It sounds like.
Yes, she rode with me a few times in a car, and one time a Brahma chicken had run out on the road. These things make turkeys look small, and I was in a minivan. I drifted the minivan around the chicken, did a complete 180, and kept going.
There's a lot of drifting in your growing up stories here. I'm noticing a theme there that you're Tokyo drifting in a lot of these stories.
I grew up on back dirt roads in Nebraska, so yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe every car that you had Indy Slicks on it too, man. I don't know. It's it's hard to get a car drifting anymore, but gravel and some Indy Slicks, you can do it.
I'm also suddenly offended because you say, so the Brahma breed of chicken, you say those get real big, they make turkeys look small?
The ones I saw.
The Brahma, listen, a friend of mine got some baby chicks last week, and he named one after me, and my best friend said, by the picture, it looks like a Brahma, and that would be an appropriate breed to name after you. So what is she trying? You know what I'm saying? Like, Marcus's face right now is how I feel on the inside. What's she trying to say?
I would not want to be in the same zip code as you and that friend. That's
gonna be a fight.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, honey, I love you so much. I bought a dog and I named it after you. This is our bulldog, Ashley. Yeah, I do not think that would go over very well.
Sir, my grandpa got a dog and named it after me. So I'm not having good luck right now. Thank you. Thanks.
And they're writing songs about you too. You got Mandy, Amanda. There's songs that have been written. It's just kind of, maybe it's just your name. It's not a bad thing to have a name that people like to hear, right?
I prefer Boston Amanda or Waylon Jennings Amanda if we're going to be serious about it, But that brings up another point. Like if my son was driving truck and I rode along with him, I think the worst thing for him outside of making him stop for like world's biggest rocking chair, like I want to see all those things, but I sing. We sing along in the car. There would be like a full concert going on the entire time. He would be exhausted. Yeah. Have to. And we'd start with Journey's Greatest Hits, I think, for sure.
That's a good place to start. Bert, I heard you agreeing in there. Were you a sing-along family as well?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And what kind of tunes are you listening to if Mom's joining you in the cab?
Well, mom listened to like rockabilly and stuff and Elvis and all that kind of good old rock and roll.
Uh-huh.
But like, when I was a teenager, we'd drive around and she would sing "Am I Evil" by Metallica in the car. So I thought that was kind of weird that she was jamming out to that. But
yeah, that's awesome.
She did. She would belt it out.
She loved a little bit of thrash metal in her life. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. How about you, Donut? Were you guys a sing-along family?
Oh yeah, and it was a lot of everything. Like we were listening to everything from Puddle of Mud to AC/DC to Reba McEntire to one time my mom rolled up to school with Beethoven's Fifth playing in the car, so that was interesting.
That's great, man. My family wasn't as big of a sing-along family, but if we did, my mom was big into Cher. And I always feel like if something was going to get belted out, it was going to be, if I could turn back time, something like that. Like really, really deep cut. Actually, that's not a deep cut Cher stuff. That's just good Cher right there. All right, fellas. So I want to get into a little game here. Listen, I've talked to enough truck drivers now to know that sometimes you guys are, you got plenty of meal prep going on out there. Everything's going fine. The truck's clean. You're feeling good. And other times you're really busy. Maybe the truck's not so clean. Maybe you're not eating the best. Maybe we're not taking care of ourselves the best. So the next little bit here that I have for us is, would your mom approve? And I'm going to throw a few things out here that maybe you guys have run into out there on the road, and you just let us know if your mom would approve or disapprove of such behavior, okay? First one I've got for you is going to be you're eating roller dogs 3 meals a day for multiple days in a row. Maybe not only roller dogs. Maybe you get a go-go taquito off of there. Maybe a cheesesteak roll or something like that. But roller food, 3 meals a day, 3 days in a row. Does mom approve or disapprove, Bert?
She's not gonna approve that. She's gonna be like making fun of me when I'm going to the bathroom all the time. Yeah, she ain't gonna have that.
No.
Like my mom, if she was on the truck, she'd be cooking while we're moving.
Okay, that's nice, man.
She'd have some griddle set up in the back. You want some pancakes?
That sounds nice.
You want some bacon and sausage?
That sounds nice, man. That sounds. You'd be well fed out there on the road, man. We'll take it. Donut, how about you, man? 3 meals a day, roller food, 3 days in a row. Does mom approve or disapprove?
She does not approve. She's like, oh my, you couldn't at least fast food something. I mean, go to a Subway. There's a Subway in every truck stop. What are you doing?
Oh, the roller food just looks too good. It's moving, but it's not getting anywhere. That's a miracle in my mind. I love it.
I don't even think I'd get my nickname. I think she'd call me by my full government name.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. That's when you know it's serious. When mom calls you by their full government name, that's still like, my mom doesn't do it anymore because she's mad at me. She doesn't get mad at me and now that I'm 40, or at least I don't know if she does. But when she says my full name, Marcus Allen Bridges, it does something primal in my brain, you guys. I don't know what happens, but a synapse fires and I stand at attention like she's a drill sergeant. And I don't know why. She never gave me reason to be afraid of her, but that full government name thing that you just mentioned, Donut, that's a serious thing.
See, with my mother, for me, I get my, if I get my full government name, I know I'm in a little hot water, but things aren't too bad yet. She remembered my last name. But if she stops at my middle name, I'm like, oh crap. If she says my first and middle name like it's one name, I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
What is it?
Fall in line, right? What about you, Bert?
Yep.
Was that something, if your mom called you by full government name, was there reason to tuck tail and get the hell out of there?
Yeah. Especially when she says, go get me a stick to beat you with, or the wooden spoon comes out. Them wooden spoons.
Oh, those wooden spoons, man. That also, you'll clear your butt right out of the kitchen, too. If you see a wooden spoon get raised up to about shoulder height, just make for the living room.
Then she used my Hot Wheels tracks, and I got tired of getting whooped with them, so I thought I was really smart, right? So I took her, like, she was a seamstress, so she had, like, a hole punch thing, make buttonholes and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I ruined my Hot Wheels track. Well, it just made it, fly through the air faster, and then it left little round welts.
I was going to say, I think you streamlined the process for her is all you did.
I did. Yep. It was a terrible decision.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's get back to would mom approve here. I got a couple more of these. Would mom approve, Bert, if you were rolling down the road, your fuel light's on, and you're sitting there with the attitude, don't worry, we can make it to the next fuel stop? Is that a mom approve? Is she kind of a risk taker like that? Like, yeah, let's make it. Or would she be telling you, pull your ass over right now and get some fuel, stop trying to be a hero?
I think that would get her in a panic, like I was a little bit ago. I've been running down to the light this whole week. But yeah, she'd panic.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Yeah, man, I get it.
Get some roller food.
and a pancake. Let's stop, get some roller food. I'll make you a pancake. You can get some fuel. Everything will be fine. Oh, that's great. How about you, Bert? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Or Bert, continue. Sorry.
Oh no, you're gonna call on Donut.
I was, and then I interrupted you.
And you, that's all right.
Thanks for taking it easy on me. I greatly appreciate it.
My mom wouldn't.
It doesn't sound like she would, man. It doesn't sound like she would at all. How about you, Donut? I'll get my name straight here. You're rolling down to the light, like Bert said. There's a gas station right here that you could stop at, but you think you're going to get a few more miles in and you're going to make it there on fumes. How's your mom responding to that? Does she approve or disapprove?
She'd like lean all the way over, look at the dash, and be like, needle's still above the E.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be like, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I can make it to the next one. It's only like 30, 40 miles. She just sit back, smile, and go, that's my boy.
Okay, a little bit.
We did that many a time growing up.
You're a gambling man, I see.
It's weird that I play primarily roulette.
Yeah, what the hell, man? You'd think you know the odds or something. All right, one more of these. This one is going to hit close to home, I think, with all of us because, Amanda and I talked about this off the open. Sometimes we can be accused of not calling home enough, not getting in touch with mom enough. So, Bert, let's say you didn't call home for a week. You didn't call mom. You didn't say anything to her. You just didn't touch base. What's she gonna say? Approve or disapprove?
I'm gonna go with disapprove.
She like to hear from you while you're out there?
To her, yeah, I'd talk to my mom all the time. We became good buddies once she got sick, and when I was married, I didn't talk to her as much, and I'd hear about it. Why don't you ever come over? I gotta cook for somebody.
Aw.
She always loved cooking for everybody.
That's such a mom thing too, right? It's like, you got the quintessential mom when you invite friends over and she's happy to cook for them. She wants to cook for them. You gotta love that. My house was always the crash pad for kids. My dad and I we built an addition on the house because he was sick of me having all my friends in the living area with the rest of the family. So I totally get that, Bert.
My mom was always like, she was great with my friends and stuff, so much so that I would go out, running the streets and stuff, and like none of my friends would be around. And then I'd get bored with looking for them, and I'd go home and they're all there hanging out with my mom, eating food.
Yeah, she's cooler than you, Bert. That's all there is to it. She's just a little cooler than you.
Well, she kind of was. Everybody loved her.
All right, Donut, you're not calling home for a week. What's mom saying? Approve, disapprove?
Oh, she's disapproving. If I don't at least message her once a week, she's like, is your phone broken?
Yeah.
What happened? You didn't respond to my last 15 videos. What's going on with you?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we could definitely tell when we had her on the air that you guys have a very special relationship, and I imagine 1 week is way too much time to go by before calling.
Yeah, getting both of us able to call at the same time is difficult. That's why we do a lot of videos, and we shit post memes to each other all the time.
Yes.
That's great. Amanda, I wonder for you, like, what's the time frame that you haven't heard from your kids and you're starting to get into that mom mode of, is your phone broken? Why haven't you gotten in touch with me?
I think it's 3 weeks. I think it's about 3 weeks is where I go, okay. But you have to understand, all three of my kids are in their early 20s right now.
Just moved out, right?
You know what I mean? Like they're in.
Oh, there you go.
The only one that really goes that long without talking to me is my son. And when he does hit me up, it's usually because he wants something. My oldest is at a stage in her life where she's got an almost 2-year-old. And then they just found out they have another on the way. So she wants to talk to me all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
She's just at that point in life. So there's never a point where I'm like worried about if I don't hear from Mia for a week. So I guess it's different for each kid, right? So if I don't hear from Mia for a week, I feel like something's up. But Jack can go 3 weeks. Marley, it's funny, you guys are talking about like your mom's cooking. I just went and looked at my phone. The last thing my daughter in Washington texted me was food she wants me to make for her.
Oh, nice.
So
Perfect.
she's so busy though. She's college, 3 jobs, so I hear from her when I hear from her, but and with the time difference, it's, I give her a little bit more leeway, but she probably reaches out the most genuinely. She's my sweetie patootie.
I love hearing that, Jack, you'll give him 3 weeks, and then even then you're like, yeah, well, maybe I just send him some food, right? I just send him some food, make sure he's got some food.
I just make sure he's alive, So I think the direct reach out, it's always text. It's almost never a phone call. My oldest will FaceTime me before she texts, though. But the best thing I did was I created a group chat on Instagram. So, they are so quick to send each other posts that shit talk each other, you know what I mean? So I at least know they're alive and functioning, because at least once a day they're sending each other something about, this is what it was like to have an older brother, and it's just horrible, awful thing. You know what I mean? They're just constantly digging at each other, which also makes me feel like I did a great job as a parent. It's a great relationship for your kids to have with each other.
It is. I'm the only person in the world that can say the things that I say to my sister without getting swatted, and that's a very special relationship to have, and I got to thank Mom and Dad for that, because they were good at making us be together. Mm-hmm. They were also good at allowing us to be apart, because there's only so much time that brothers and sisters can spend together before the lid just blows off.
Best day of my life as a mother of 3 was when I got a 3rd row vehicle and I could split them up. That was like,
Yeah, and then you got to be strategic, because the one that you can't reach is the one that you trust the most, right? Because it's
unfortunately, the era of seatbelts, so I couldn't do the slam on the brake and catch him with my hand trick,
Right. Well, fellas, we've gotten quite a bit here. I want to start to kind of get towards wrapping this thing up, but there is one thing that Donut and I have cooked up. Now, I say Donut and I have cooked it up because he called me and told me about it. I have nothing to do with it, but I am going to platform him and allow him to come on here with a very big surprise that he has so graciously decided to share with us here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast, Amanda. And I think you guys are going to be very excited about this. I want to let you guess to see if you can figure it out, but I also am worried that you're too good of a guesser and you're going to figure it out. So I don't want to let you guess, but what's going through your mind right now, Amanda?
I'm thinking, does Donut know me that well that he got me a lifetime supply of earplugs? What could it? I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, good. So there's some genuine confusion here. Bert, I'm sure, has no idea either. Bert, don't take any guesses here. But when you heard there was a surprise coming later on the podcast, were you a bit nervous? I mean, there's been some weird stuff that we've gotten into on this show.
No, I wasn't nervous at all. What I'm curious about is why Amanda would want a lifetime supply of earplugs.
Aren't you curious?
She works with me.
Oh my God, Donut, that was so good, man. That was so good.
That was a good one.
No, unless the surprise is Donut singing, and then maybe we all pass out earplugs. Unless he's a good singer.
I got some right here. I got some right under the seat here.
I just take my headphones off. That's all. All right, Donut. Well, listen, I thought I had a drum roll on here that I was going to do for you to make it like a big kind of deal, but I don't have my drum roll queued up, so
and you're a
just
drummer,
go ahead.
Dude. Come on.
Lay it on it. Lay it on it.
All right. What's the big surprise, Michael Donut Duncan?
Drum roll.
So just in time for Mother's Day coming up, with my partner Kai being on the truck with me, we found out at the North Platte Loves that she's pregnant.
Hey, happy Mother's Day.
Whee!
Congratulations, man. How awesome. And thank you so much for sharing that with us here on the show. That is officially the very first birth announcement that we've had here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Oh, Donut's having a munchkin. Yay.
He's a mini donut.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. Well, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Excited and nervous to all ends.
Oh, yeah.
As as you know, because I talked about it when I was still in my ex's Sun's life, that I've done the dad thing before, but I've never been a father.
Oh boy.
Well, I think you're pretty well. You're pretty well cut out for it, man.
Yeah.
The fact that you're thinking about that beforehand and that you can actually draw that distinction is like, I've done the dad thing, but I've not been a father. I think that right there kind of signifies that you're probably cut out for it. What do you think, Amanda?
I was going to say, not to be deep and super personal, but I honestly think that your brother helped prep you for this. So I think you're ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's something like being the oldest of 7 kids.
Yeah, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, dude, thank you so much for sharing that awesome news with us today. We look
Congrats.
forward to hearing about it when it all comes to fruition. That's the one problem with babies, right? Is we get all excited. Now we got to wait for the thing to cook for 6-8 months. I don't know how long it takes. I'm not a dad. 9. Okay, well.
That's 9. Jeez.
I don't know what the gestation period is of a rhino either, and I don't have one of those. So, it's like it makes sense. If you thought I was always paying attention in class, you haven't realized that I got into broadcasting because I never paid attention in class. So, anyway, I digress, fellas. Let's go ahead and get to final thoughts here on our very special Mother's Day special, because we just learned about a new mother, or about a new baby, I should say, is probably the way to put it. So let's go ahead and go final thoughts from you, Bert, here on this Mother's Day. I really appreciate you joining us. I know you got some great memories of your mom, and the stories that you tell about her always make me think that she was a lot like you, that maybe that apple didn't fall very far from the tree, as we've said before. So we greatly appreciate the time, man. Final thoughts for us before we let you get back to the lake on this Mother's Day special.
Funny you should mention that. My mom, she was always proper and everything. She was funny. She told jokes and all that, but she was always well composed. Well, once she got her Alzheimer's, I realized, I always blame my dad for my bad behavior. Like I was wild because, he was wild. But then, my mom just started talking like a sailor and just being really, really dirty and, very inappropriate jokes. And I'm like, man, it was you all along, So it was like a big light bulb went off. It's like, man, I'm nuts like you are, But yeah, she was a great lady. She had an amazing life. She's a costume designer. I mean, she could make clothes from scratch. She just measure you, and she would make wedding dresses that way,
Wow.
And even when she had Alzheimer's, she was still making aprons and winning prizes at the state fair. So yeah, she was a pretty amazing lady.
That's amazing.
She saved my sailor hat from so I dropped the sailor hat at the zoo in the alligator pit.
Oh.
And she went in and got it.
What?
Wow.
So
Mom, no.
she was not very afraid of things, right? I was just like, what the hell?
Right?
I was at the zoo, I was totally paranoid when I had my daughter at the zoo, keeping her away from the monkey cage, went on that overhead tram, and I was having a heart attack the whole time. So
Bert was like, I love you,
Yep,
kid, but you don't get a sailor hat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the sailor hat stays with the
Right.
alligators if you drop it, sweetheart.
I just thought she was nuts doing that.
That is
Crazy.
nuts. That
She
is
climbed
nuts.
over the railing and went down in there and got my hat.
That's
insane.
amazing. There's something else I want to touch on there, Bert, on a bit of a serious note, and that is, my grandfather suffered from Alzheimer's as well at the end of his life, and there was one thing that I was always amazed by, and what you talked about with your mom there, even into her illness, she was still winning awards and sewing costumes. My grandpa could be so confused, he could be so out of sorts and be angry and mad. And if you start talking to him about his old Ford pickup truck, or you start talking to him about being back on the farm when he was a kid, I saw my dad do something that it was amazing. We were in the hospital with my grandma. My grandpa was very agitated. He's a big man. He was getting fired up. He didn't know what was going on. And my dad started asking him about how they laid bricks in an old barn back when he was a kid in Ohio. And my grandpa snapped right out of it, started drawing diagrams, started talking about the different techniques and everything.
Yeah.
It's a horrific disease, but if I can give anybody any advice, and Bert, I think you might echo it, get them to a place where they are familiar. Get them to talking about the things that they know, and that's when you'll actually see that person show up again. It can be real hard to deal with, but there are bright spots, right?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I got to hear all about her whole childhood again, you know?
Yep. That's listen, man, my sister worked for the Alzheimer's Association for a while. It's just a terrible thing that a lot of us are going to deal with in one way, shape, or form. And so we appreciate you, Bert, as always, man, coming on here and telling the stories and enjoying the time with us. I hope that it gets you thinking about your mom and that you get to think about all the happy times, man. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing your time with us.
Definitely have thinking about this, doing this podcast. So
very cool, man.
I appreciate it.
Of course, Bert Morris, always welcome back, man. You know it. You got my number, and my 2 Bert stickers on my water bottle are lasting, and I hear you've got another one from me, so I got to make a trip out to Omaha and get my hands on that thing, man.
Don't forget to get on Cleach about not making me breakfast.
Yes, that's right. I will talk to him about that next week for sure. Michael Donut Duncan, a banner day for you, my friend, here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Thank you so much for sharing that awesome news with us, and thank you for just coming on to talk about Mom and give Mom some love. Final thoughts for us, Donut, before we let you get back to it today.
Not sure which one to start with, but I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to all my moms, and all the moms. When you guys were talking about Alzheimer's, I was thinking about my nanny, my mom's mom. She had it too, and the bricks thing, it made me think about, she used to sit there. I'd bring up my own name. She didn't recognize me as me. She was always thinking about younger Michael. Oh. And so I'd ask her for stories about me, and she'd sit there. She knew I was associated with me, but couldn't quite pinpoint me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'd tell me stories about me.
That's so cool, man. And that's when you saw your old nanny, right? That's when she was back to the person you'd always known.
One of her favorite stories is, that little boy, I told him to go pick up his stuff, and he said, why? Just why? Why? And so I grabbed that. I was cooking him some fried potatoes in my gas iron skillet. And I knocked off the potatoes off the skillet, popped them on the side of the face, and went back to cooking like he said nothing.
Good Lord. Oh, man, you guys are in the right industry, man, because nothing scares you guys. I tell you that right now.
I watched that lady when I was very little, and she was still working. She was working, I can't remember what she was doing, but some guy came in and brandished a gun. She jumped over the counter and chased him down the street.
Damn. Guy with a gun was running away from an unarmed woman. That means that woman had some intimidation factor.
She wasn't unarmed. She grabbed a fry basket.
There you go.
That's as bad as the alligator thing.
Right.
It is.
My mother got that from her and handed it down to me.
Well,
we all have that same face where it's like, no, you crossed the line. Well, Grandma's thing was, I'll get the spatula. My mom's thing is, do I need to pop the trunk? There is always a Louisville and a ball and a baseball glove in my mom's trunk at all times.
Yep, and we call that Louisville Slugger a Michael B. Good stick is what we call that.
I will neither confirm nor deny because I know she'll listen to this and I don't want to die tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, man. Well, fellas, again, thank you so much. I know sometimes it's weird to have a guy like me call you and say, hey, let's come talk about your moms. Like, typically you'd think that this would just be half an hour of jokes, but I love my mom, got a very, very good relationship with my mom, and that's why this is such an important episode to me. So I love hearing about your guys' relationships with your moms. Amanda, I love hearing about you going through the peaks and wanes of being a mom. It's very fun for me. I'm I'm a long ways away from it. I'm about as non-mom as you can get when you really think about it. So this has been awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, fellas. That's weird. But happy Mother's Day, fellas. And we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
Thanks, Marcus.
Great stuff there, as always, from Michael Donut Duncan and Bert Morris. I will be honest with you, I'm a little shocked that we got to announce a pregnancy here on the show. We were talking about that. I'll give you guys a little peek behind the scenes. Yesterday, we started recording this interview, and we had technical difficulties, and we had to stop. Well, I got on the phone with Donut after that, and we were talking about rescheduling, and that was when he said, hey, this is the news I have. And what do you think? And I said, dude, I'll give you a platform whenever you want to announce that news. But I said, you know, I've had some friends before that have waited for a while before they make the announcement because maybe something happens, right? They don't want to have to walk that back. And he went and had a conversation last night, and that was what they came up with there is that, hey, and this is what I love so much about Donut and his family that he's kind of, you know, exposed to the show a little bit. We've talked to his mom. We've heard the stories about his younger brother, Connor. May he rest in peace. And I just think that the decision behind giving the announcement early and being okay with it early is that if they do have to walk it back, they will come on the podcast and talk about something that is very hard that a lot of people go through and really, Amanda, isn't something you ever hear about.
Right.
That's just amazing to me.
I agree with you. I think it's awesome that we got to do the announcement. I think now we have a next goal of somehow we find 2 drivers that are from Ohio or a driver from Ohio that wants to get married, and I'll officiate the wedding on the podcast. It's just got to be Ohio, though. I'm only licensed to officiate in Ohio, so we're gonna make it happen.
We can find a fly-by-night website, get you all 50 states and the territories in for $25. I'm betting you. It might not be as legal as what you have right now, but I'm sure we can get that endorsement for you. We work in trucking. We're great at getting endorsements real quick, all right?
I think it'd be fun to do a wedding on the show. That'd be great.
I think it would be. You know, something interesting, actually was the co-host of my radio show at the time, was an ordained minister, and he married me and my wife. So,
okay.
You know, it's definitely something that's more prevalent in broadcasting than you would think. There's a lot of broadcasters that I know that are ordained ministers and can marry you. And I think that, hey, it was very entertaining. Like, you don't think about a wedding and think about the officiant with jokes. Right. But I had a guy who's like a comedian marry me. And so it was like we got some good comic relief jabs in there. And it's like, it's what I want. You know, we played a rock show at my wedding. Like, I want to have a little bit of fun. This is a party. It's not at a church. We're on a golf course. Let's act like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely add a lot of humor to my ceremonies. But to bring this topic back around to the point of today, the first ceremony I ever officiated was actually my mother's. So,
oh, really?
Yes.
That's so cool.
To my stepdad. So they've been married now for like 15 years. And that was the start of it all was their wedding. And instead of a reading I had, my oldest, she read lyrics from one of the songs from oh my god, Adam Sandler, The Wedding Singer.
Oh, yes.
So the song he writes for her that he sings to her on the plane. Hey, listen, this movie's been out for decades, so spoiler alert, if I'm telling you the ending, I'm sorry. But anyway, so when he's on the plane and he's singing the song he wrote for her, that song, I wrote the lyrics out and my daughter read them you know, for the ceremony. So I thought that was cute. She didn't know what she was doing either, but my mom picked up on it right away.
That's so cool. So was that the reason that you got ordained, was to marry your mom? Was that like the whole thing behind it?
I wanted to be part of the Church of the Almighty Dollar. I was doing, I'm just being honest. Listen, I was doing wedding planning and event planning, and it seemed like all the other event planners also were ordained. And it just seemed like a natural next step. And the interesting thing is I don't actually plan events anymore, but I do write very custom ceremonies, and that's kind of like my specialty, my secret side hustle. I don't advertise. It's just, you know, friends of friends and things like that. And, you know, so far, I think I've only had 3 divorces of all the weddings that I've done, and my mom's is not one of them. So
Hey, all right, that's worth a party horn. We're batting a good average here. We're getting signed to the next contract if we're on a baseball team with that average. I like it. You know, we talk about things. I haven't ever brought this up on this podcast before, and my buddy doesn't listen to this, so he won't care. Even if he does, I don't give a shit. Come say it to my face, you know. But this was one of my best friends. I was in his wedding up in Seattle, and his wife is one of the most laid back, just cool women that was like, she watches what all of us do. And while some of the wives shrug their shoulders and some of them shake their heads, she's always just kind of been even keel. Like, yeah, that's just their guys. That's what they do. Hey, do you know the band Flight of the Conchords from the TV show Flight of the Conchords? It was on HBO. Yeah. So the comedy troupe there, they write funny songs. They have a song called The Most Beautiful Girl in the Room, and my friend played that with his brother for his wife at the wedding. I just want to read you a couple of the lyrics here, okay?
Okay.
It starts out, looking around the room, I can tell that you are the most beautiful girl in the room. And when you're on the street, depending on the street, I bet you are definitely in the top 3 good-looking girls on the street, depending on the street. And when I saw you at my mate's place, I thought, what is she doing at my mate's place? How did Dave get a hottie like that to a party like this? Good one, Dave. You're a legend, Dave. And it's like the whole song is just kind of talking about like how she's pretty, but she's not the prettiest girl in the room, but she could be the prettiest girl. And they played that at their wedding. And it's
That's
like,
so funny though. Oh my
you know,
God.
it was great. There was, and you should have seen the cringes. Like for every woman in the room that did not know her directly, that was over the age of about 30, looked terrified.
Right?
I
They
mean,
were
like,
disgusted.
they thought they were going to see an on-the-spot divorce right there before the wedding had even been consummated. But no, it was great. They're still together today. They got 2 awesome kids
hilarious.
and just went up to Seattle and saw them the other day. So, you know, a little bit of humor in your wedding. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be quite so buttoned up. If you got somebody officiating like Amanda, you better expect a couple of a couple of hee-haws in there, right?
Oh, for sure, definitely. You gotta keep people happy and entertained. You don't ever want people to feel like they have to get through the ceremony. But I will say one thing I always ask, and it's funny because again we keep coming back to the moms. It seems like both the groom's mom and the bride's mom always have an influence on the wedding. So like the ceremony itself always has a little bit of either like, okay, well, for my mom, I want there to be a little bit of religion involved, or for my mom, we need to make sure we don't make this particular joke, or you know what I mean? So mom is always top of mind for everybody. It's crazy.
Boy, she is. She is. You know, I'll tell you one last story about a mom and a wedding, and this was back in my wedding DJ days when I would, and you talked about the Church of the Almighty Dollar.
Yeah.
If you're a broke college student and you can get in with DJing weddings, I'll tell you, they pay really, really well. Like $800 for, 6 or 7 hours of being out and playing music and watching a bunch of people party. And then you get the tips too. I had this woman, we would have a long meeting with our brides and grooms and go over the list of songs that are not okay to play because we're affiliated with the radio station. We've got the whole catalog. We've got every song from every genre you want. So you better make sure and let us know if some of these popular ones are no-goes. And it was the song Crazy Bitch from Buck Cherry.
Yes.
And she said that was at the top of the list. It's an absolute no-go. Do not play it. Okay, no problem. 9:30, 10 o'clock rolls around. It's dark. Everybody's got a red Solo cup. Everybody's starting to get loose. Bride runs up to me at the DJ booth and says, hey, my grandma's gone. You can go ahead and play that song now.
Aww.
Well, grandma was gone. I played it. Mom was still there. Mom was not happy. And that was on Saturday. When I showed up for work on Monday, bride and mom were in my boss's office yelling at him at the top of his lungs. And I just happened to peek my head in, and they were requesting a full refund.
That's
did not want to
crazy.
pay a cent for this wedding. And I poked my head in, and I said to the bride, I said, do you remember asking me to play that song, right? And her head snapped over to me, and I said, yeah. You walked up to me, you told me grandma was gone, and to play the song. And my boss's eyes got real big, and he goes, is that true? And she looked at her mom, and her mom was staring daggers through her and was like, she's like, okay, I think I kind of remember that now. I'd had a lot to drink. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm whatever you're dealing with between the walls of your family home now, I'm sorry, but we didn't do it, you know? So happy Mother's Day to that mom for causing everybody to go nuts for a little bit there. Over a song that's, frankly, it's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like that song.
The wrath of mom is terrifying. I don't care who she is.
Yeah, it's almost like Buck Cherry might have wrote that song about a mom losing her shit a little bit. Maybe not. Amanda, happy Mother's Day to you as we put the brakes on this episode. It's so cool having a mother's perspective on this show now, and I never thought that I would get as much out of it as I did, but you, we've talked about our dynamic before. You kind of have a little bit of a big sister feel, but you kind of also have that mom instinct. You're keeping me between the mayonnaise and mustard, and that's what we like here on a trucking podcast. So happy Mother's Day to you from all of us here at the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Tell your wife I said happy Corgi Mother's Day.
I will do that. She will get a kick out of that. And happy Mother's Day to all of the Liquid Trucking moms out there, to all of the moms in general. We got a lot of people listening to this show, and we just want to blow one out for the moms. Just a big, exciting episode where we come in, we tell some stories, we laugh, we share some stuff. Our Mother's Day episodes are always fun. I think this one's a little bit better than last year's, which means next year we're going to have to raise the bar even higher, and we're looking forward to it. Happy Mother's Day from all of us here at the Liquid Trucking Podcast. Stay safe out there, drivers. Keep the shiny side up. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.